3 cards for your energies in play for today, Tuesday, March 10th. I'm using the Morgan Grew deck today, and the first card is Ace of Rods, and it's reversed. As I've mentioned many times, rods are stored fire, so you hold something very powerful in your hand, and the ace is calling for you to begin. Whatever that potential is, whatever that project is that you have in mind, there is energy available for that to proceed. However, we see that the card is reversed, so something is getting in the way of that. And it feels to me like scattered energies, like your attention has been diverted elsewhere, and that brings us to a focus problem. We need to gather all of our energies and concentrate them like a laser on a single point of action, whatever it is that this means to you. And it doesn't have to be material necessarily. It could be some work that you're doing with yourself or relationship related stuff, but whatever this is, and I think you know what it is, like I said, you hold everything you need already. That power is available. All it needs is for the spark to be lit. And so look around you and see what is kind of distracting you. Is it social media? Is it people? Is it waffling because you don't think that you're powerful enough to create this thing yet or to work with this thing yet? This card is telling you that you are. You just have it kind of upside down right now. So this is a call to look inward and to focus. Okay, second card for today, another reversal. This is the Strength card reversed. Okay, well that clarifies things. I'm feeling a lack of confidence, self-doubt. The reason you're not beginning is just because you're afraid of what the outcome might be. So I want to reaffirm that from a spiritual standpoint, it doesn't matter what the outcome is. That's not up to you. The important thing is that you begin. Once you begin, you give the forces of the universe, so to speak, permission to assist you. If you don't start on something, if you don't put that 1 foot forward on the next part of your path, then the universe kind of reinforces your hesitation and will keep you stuck. So whatever it is that you're avoiding, because I feel that there is some active avoidance here, I think there's some inner self-talk happening that is not conducive to moving forward. It's time to investigate that and ask yourself, is this really true? Are these narratives I'm telling myself really operational in me? Or is this just something I absorbed from the atmosphere around me? Is this something that someone's been telling me my whole life and I have mistakenly taken that for truth? It's not truth. Every second, you are a new being in a new situation. That's why the universe constantly evolves. It gives us a new chance every single second. So now is the time, like I said, to put that first foot forward on the path and see where it takes you. Stop holding yourself back. Doubt doesn't get us anywhere. All it does is keep us feeling kind of safe, but something in us knows that, oh, we can't expand as long as we're standing in place. Oh, and one more thing before I move on to the third card. If you were to put the Strength card upright in this deck, notice how this female figure in the card is caressing, cradling the lion. This tells me that part of the problem here may be that you're actually a little afraid of your own strength. Like, what is it going to cost me if I really recognize, acknowledge, and empower myself to use the strength that part of me really knows that I contain? There could be a fear of loss of relationship here, or, I mean, this is a facet of the spiritual path, is that as you discover these unused parts of yourself and realize that you've been betraying yourself in a way by not acknowledging and using them, then we get the question of, oh, but if I change who I am, how does that change everybody around me? And what happens when people aren't happy with me anymore? Well, that's part of the struggle that we go through, individuating from the people surrounding us and being true to ourselves, finally. Because so many of us spend our lives trying to fit into these little boxes, these little action figures that people have told us that we are. And instead, we haven't recognized what we really contain. And you've got this bright, beautiful lion inside you who is full of power and is actually quite playful and happy to coordinate with you when you bring him forward, or her. But he's been kept kind of in the dark, kind of in a little cage, because he threatens maybe someone in your life or the situation that you find yourself in that you're afraid to let go of just yet. So this card is telling you, you know what, it's time. And third card gives us the Devil reversed. We saw this Devil reversed in this deck a few days ago. And at the time, I said the same thing I'm going to tell you now, which is notice how when you take your shadows, your fears, the dark parts of yourself that you're afraid to acknowledge, and you invert them, it becomes this little rocket ship. You see this candle at the bottom here that's fueling the rocket that's going to go up? That's representing that wand in the first card. What happens when you light that spark? You've got all the power you need, and some of it comes from the shadows. Shadows are not necessarily bad. We all contain the full range of emotion, the full range of psychological dynamics and choices that we could make, and the difference is whether or not we acknowledge those and incorporate them into the fullness of who we are so that we can use the energy they contain for our own benefit and the benefit of the world around us, or whether we keep them suppressed. When they're suppressed, they become the devil, but when we acknowledge them and allow them to inform us as part of our fullness, then we can really harvest that power and use it to fuel us on our upward momentum. So if you want to access that strength, it feels to me like part of the work here is going to be looking into your shadows, finding where the fear is, finding where the jealousy is, finding where the status consciousness is, things like that are holding you back because you're afraid to bring them into the picture and say, you know, is it really as dangerous as I feel it's going to be? Is there any validity to what I'm feeling with these things? Or are they just parts of myself that got kind of lost along the way and they need to be brought in and loved into a more functional version of themselves? So to sum it all up, our 3-card spread today, the first card, Ace of Rods reversed, tells us that you're doubting your own spark, your own power, but you hold it right there in your hand. Strength reversed means you're afraid of your own intensity for some reason. It's time to look at that. And the Devil reversed, that's the key turning in the lock. All these narratives that you've been questioning, the ones you've absorbed, the ones that have kept you playing small, they're losing their grip. So it's time to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. And that's today's reading. Like, follow, and share. See you tomorrow.